All right, in this lesson we're going to talk about escape sequences in Java. You see this in all sorts of languages. It's a different way to print information and kind of make it easier sometimes. So if I was going to just print this, notice I have Java is amazing, love the Java programming language, and I just wanted to print this on this line. I could do this, right? But if you look at Java, the way the coding, and there's my Java is amazing, right? If I wanted this to actually be a quotation, and I put quotation marks in here, look at how that messes up my coding here. The language doesn't understand what's going on. And so you can use an escape character to basically tell it to don't use this like you normally would. Because in Java language, we use quotation marks here to tell it that we're going to have something within a print statement. We're going to print this out. So I can use an escape character like this, and I can add another quotation mark here. I can put an escape sequence like this. Oops. Like this. So now it's basically telling Java that this is don't look at this quotation. It's not going to actually be used the way the language would normally use it, which is to signify that anything in between these two quotation marks, we're going to print this off. It's because what we want to do is actually print these quotation marks in here. So if I run this, I should get my quotation marks now, which are right here and right here. Okay, so that's a really useful tool, is the escape character, the escape key. Okay, so then another thing you can do with these, so let's say that I have Java is amazing here. I'm going to get rid of my quotation marks now. And what I wanted to do is, let's say I want to, right now I'm using a print statement and I'm just printing it. Let's say I want to do a new line, right? So I'm going to print this, I'm going to make Java, and then I'm going to actually copy this a couple times. Just add these here for a second. Oh, forgot the S in system. And then we're going to say that in this line we're going to do is, and then in this line we're going to do amazing. And so maybe I want to just print off Java is amazing, right? And if I run this, as long as I didn't make any errors there, it's going to say Java is amazing. Well, what if instead of that, I'm going to go back here and add in is amazing again. Okay, and we're going to get rid of these two. Is to make it easier, instead of printing it this way, what I want to do is I want to say, okay, this is going to be a new line, and it's basically like, so /n is telling it that this is signifying a new line right here, and everything after it. So if I run this right now, I'm going to get is amazing on the next line. And if I wanted to add another line, I could do the /n again, and now I'm going to get Java is amazing. Okay? So these escape sequences are really, really important. They help us be able to do things like this where, maybe I don't want to print this with 3 separate print statements, right? I want it to print this way, but I don't want to use 3 separate print lines. I can just do it this way and use an escape n or a /n and tell it basically to hit return or have it move down a line. There's other ones for this too. You have tab. Maybe I want to do a new line, and then I want to do I want it to tab over, and I could do that. And so when I run this, now you're going to see that Java is amazing, and it's tabbed over. Okay. The other thing with this, if I were going to do a escape sequence like this, notice because this is a reserved character, it messes up my programming language. Even though I want this /line in here, maybe I wanted to have this in here. Okay, I would need to put an escape sequence in there because it's a character that the programming language recognizes that we're going to do something with this. So if I did want to print this actual escape sequence in this at the end, I would have to actually add one before it. So now the way the language sees this is it sees an escape sequence, so don't count this now as an actual escape character. Okay, So now when I run this, I should see this line here at the end. Okay. So that's kind of how you use the escape sequences. They're really, really helpful in programming, you know, and you see them in many different languages. Python has them, Java, C++. They all have these kind of things because it allows us to print and to use them within a print statement and not necessarily have to print using multiple print statements to do something. Okay? All right. Hopefully that helps you. Good luck with your coding.